It's hard to read that, but that is a Tommy ROM for a Data East MPU. And I am rehabbing this MPU. It had a bit of alkaline corrosion. I'm sorry, not alkaline corrosion. Electrolyte corrosion from one, a leaky cap, and two, there was a little bit of alkaline corrosion from a leaky battery holder that had extended throughout this whole area. Now I have sanded this to bare copper, and there was a little bit up here of sanded to bare copper. And then once you get that down to bare copper, you have to conformal coat that, and I use a 3M product to do that. Otherwise, this copper will do what copper does, which is turn green over large or longer periods of time. Let's see what else with this one. Oh, the client indicated it was just flaky, and it was flaky for a couple of reasons. The corrosion here. The power supply also had the typical corrosion at C2 and C7. So I've loaded this baby up. Oh, I forgot also the headers, and I rolled in a picture of hopefully the headers that were on here beforehand. They were the worst corroded headers or gnarly looking headers I've ever seen. So I don't normally do this, but I had to replace all the headers on this MPU board and all the headers on the power supply also. And I think we're good to go right now. This is one of the, I guess, I don't know if I call it rare, but I don't see them that often. They use a different kind of tip 102 equivalent. I believe that's made by SGS Thompson. And of course, one of them sticks out like a sore thumb. This one's been replaced in the past. So let's run it through its tests. I have the Simpsons ROM in here, and I have installed an NV RAM. On Data East games, I highly recommend getting rid of the battery holder and just install an NV RAM. You can get them from Pennytech or your favorite NV RAM dealer. There's no reason not to, because there's no need to remove the old RAM. It's not soldered to the board, is what I should say. Is you remove it out of the socket and then just place a new NV RAM in there and you're good to go. All right, let's test all this functionality. All okay. Funny, before I had detected a problem up here with the header that I installed. The segments were missing from the top of those two L's, so all was clearly not okay. That was caused by my own that was my own fault, though. I created a solder bridge there. All right, let's listen to the sounds of the Simpsons. And what this is really doing is proving that this 6821 PIA is communicating through CN21 over the ribbon to a soundboard that I have connected over here. Back to the sounds. And of course, if the Tommy ROMs were in there, it'd be playing different music. But I'm not sure I even have a soundboard for Tommy. You can't hear these very well because they're just tones. Display test, and one of the reasons I use Simpsons ROMs to test all these is if I were just using the Tommy ROM, the display interface only uses this thick ribbon. These three connectors over here are never used in DMD games unless they sometimes use CN1 over here to drive some specific game features. Okay, switch test. Going across the diagonal. And Data East reports all 64 switches, so that proves that's working correctly. Lamp test. Lamp returns, lamp columns, Well, I just got to work on a bouncing ball game yesterday with a client that lives close to me. Fun game. It's called Fascination. I have got to get my bouncing ball game up and working. It's all the flasher circuits, and here's the coils. Green side is the A side, the red side is the C side. Simpsons doesn't use 5C, so we'll skip that. And now onto the coils that are not multiplexed through the PPB board. And here is the special solenoids. And I can drive those through the switches that would be attached to them. We'll skip that part. And it will reboot. I guess I was thinking I'd put it on free play, but when I put the Tommy ROM back in, it's not going to do any good. I will install the Tommy ROM, make sure it boots correctly, and this one should be good to go. Thank you so much.